Hi everybody, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers, and we're in a different location. We are not at Oakwood today. We are at our Bainbridge store. We're very excited to be here and show you what's in store for September. They've just made this beautiful display right in the middle of the annual house, getting very festive here for fall holidays, of course. But it is mum time. So we're gonna show you a lot of mums today. Again, great for container gardens, excellent for in-ground color, especially where things have maybe gotten a little too wet, died back, got brown, maybe rotted. Unfortunately, that kind of happened a lot this season. So needless to say, the mums are ready to go. Always plant your mums early, as soon as you can get them, if you want them to perennialize, okay? They take about 6 to 8 weeks, so remember, got to get them in the ground fast, okay? The other plant that I wanted to show you close up here is the celosia, and we've shown you this before. This is lipsticks, intense lipstick, excuse me, but look at these cool flower heads. Celosia has always been a great plant for us. Great bedding plant, has done very well this season with the heat and humidity, but intense comes out a little bit later in the season, and I'm going to tell you, it has lasting power outside through the fall. So it's really a great combo, especially these bright pink, fuchsia, violet colors with the yellow mums. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to show you the next table over here. And actually a little bit different celosia. This is intense as well. This is gonna be your classic color. So this was the first variety that came out. A little bit larger flowering here. That dark green foliage does have a little bit of purple mottling or pigmentation. So don't be afraid. It is not any type of disease or anything like that. It does have that cool purple mottle. And also coupled with the black-eyed Susans, that's always a really fun combo as well. And of course, there is a plethora of black-eyed Susans that we'll show you here in the perennial department too. Other than that, down at my feet here, Taylor will show you these asters. These are Henry I purple asters. They're a double aster. They have been bred to kind of accompany the mums for fall and so forth, but they are hardy. So again, get your asters planted. Asters are awesome out in the garden. They grow probably about 20 inches tall and wide, maybe a little bit more compact, this variety. But I'm telling you, it's a great late season plant for the pollinators. So if you have a sunny spot, container, or even in the garden beds where you need some color, your asters, your mums, your celosia, black-eyed Susans, there are plenty to be had out there. So we're here in the annual house and we are looking at these petunias. We kind of previewed these last year. We really liked how they performed. So these are super cal petunias. They come in hanging baskets. They come in quartz. They are a cool tolerant petunia. I don't know how to say it. All petunias are good as far as cool tolerance. These are a little bit better as far as cold tolerance, colder temperatures. And we've actually had some of these bloom way into November. So it was really nice to have that annual color, if you will, through the late season. So this is the bonfire mixture in the hanging basket. There's cinnamon, French vanilla, Gold Sun, I think Taylor will correct me. And then this is the Garden Magic variety here. So we've got the blue, the cherry, and I think that's French vanilla as well. But really great, just starting to fill out here and looking really nice. But if you want some color that's gonna last much later into the fall season, this might be a good choice for you for some full sun areas. The other thing that we love about the super cals, again, with a petunia, is that you're attracting the hummingbirds to that area. Butterflies do like the petunias, but I really think the hummingbirds benefit from it so they can fill up with nectar before they travel south. So great plant to kind of keep around and do really, really well in those sunny areas. Lots of different colors, again, cinnamon, pink, beautiful. I love this caramel one, and if Taylor kind of gives a close-up, it changes through the season. Sometimes you see that orange eye and orange margin tip, and then sometimes you see like a dark eye here, a red. So really, really pretty. This one's beautiful too. This is gonna be your sunray pink. So look at the yellow eye, kind of that veinage that's coming through there, and a lighter pink color. Absolutely love them. So super cals, can't go wrong. Try them if you haven't tried them before. They really are quite fantastic as far as petunias are concerned. And then we're going to move into the cabbage and the kale, of course. So it is out. It's available right now. We've had plenty of people asking us about the cabbage and kale. When are they going to be ready? Believe me, they do so much better when it's cooler out. So now's really the time to plant in September to really take advantage of them. Right now, you're not going to see a lot of color again. It's still warm out, but once it does start to really cool down in the evenings, that's when that vein color really fills out and it looks gorgeous. So the cabbages are always going to have that rounder leaf, if you will. The kale is always going to have that frilly leaf to them. So really just great to have for that fall garden. And the mums are here. So like I showed you before in the display, we had some yellows here, but all the colors are in, folks. So you have your whites, your pinks, your reds, your oranges, your purples. I'm going to forget a bunch, but anyway, they're all here, almost a rainbow of colors, if you will. And if you plant that purple Henry Aster with them, you basically have all the colors of the rainbow. Just remember with mums, and I have a video on it and different garden guides and things too, but they need full sun, so 6 or more hours of sun per day, well-drained soil. They do great in containers, but again, if you want them to come back in the ground, get them planted as soon as possible. As soon as you see them at the garden center, that's really gonna help you succeed in carrying them over for the winter, okay? And then a really cool plant that we absolutely love to combine with the mums, of course, is gonna be Pennisetum rubrum. So this is your burgundy or your red cattail grass, if you will. And it's always a great plant to grow for fall. It is just an annual grass unless you try to winter it over inside, which you can do. It's a little bit difficult, but you keep it cool, keep it lighted, and you'll be able to do it, okay? So let's walk through the mums here. There's, I wanna tell you with mums, it's always, their bloom cycle is about 4 to 6 weeks. If it's cooler, they're always going to last longer. If it's hotter, they're going to blow out and bloom very quickly. So for us as growers, mums kind of grow in cycles. You've got early season blooming varieties, you have mid-season blooming varieties, you have late season blooming varieties, and actually very late bloomers too. So what we do as growers is we continue to pick the whites, the yellows, the reds, and so forth, and continue to produce those early, mids, and late, so you don't miss out on any of the colors whenever you need them through the fall. So that's kind of how those mums work. But just remember, if it gets too hot, they'll bloom out really, really quickly. And always deadhead. Deadhead helps, okay, reduce kind of that blowout time, if you will, can develop more buds underneath. So if you can get out there and deadhead every once in a while, that's always gonna help those mums. Okay, we're out by the perennial asters. So I showed you Henry purple, which was inside closer to the mums. Like I said, it was bred to kind of accompany mums, fall mums, but you can certainly plant, and there's many more varieties of asters out here. This is the KICKIN series, so KICKIN pink chiffon, KICKIN purple, there's KICKIN blue out here as well. I also have another one that's vibrant dome and purple dome, and they are great asters. You're seeing very tight buds. They're just starting to open up here. But again, for full sun areas, for pollinator gardens, they are fantastic. And the newer varieties like KICKIN have a little bit better disease resistance to them. So you don't see kind of the brown bottoms, the powdery mildews, the rusts on them like we have seen in some of the other asters in the past. Also, as we keep going here, look at the Caryopteris. So Caryopteris is kind of a sub-shrub, if you will. Sometimes we call it blue false spirea. And look at, we've got pollinators on the Caryopteris right now. Beautiful periwinkle blue color. First choice is like a classic, and I'll tell you, it grows about 3 foot in the garden, okay? So it can get kind of sub-shrub, a little bit woody to it, kind of like a butterfly bush does. And then look at this variegated variety. So I always forget the name of it, Taylor. White Surprise. There we go. So White Surprise is that beautiful white variegated, but it is just budding up. So it's going to get those blue blooms on it, you know, just a little bit later. So that would be beautiful contrast, foliage contrast in the garden. And then check these out. This is Red Mammoth. This is a true hardy chrysanthemum. So again, we're in the perennial department here. So that's where you're going to find this one. It does have a daisy-like flower to it. So red petals on the outside, kind of a brick red or kind of burnt red, if you will, and then yellow center, but that is going to be your perennial chrysanthemum. Okay, so again, plant them so they can get established about 6 weeks or so, and they'll do fine. Come back year after year for you, pinching back right around the 4th of July, and then they'll do just fine. They get big in the garden, so you're looking at anywhere from like 2 foot to 3 foot tall and wide. So just be aware, give them some space. So we're by the red hot pokers, the Nymphofia, and these are great perennials, again, for those drier spaces. You've got a couple new colors here. And again, whenever you see these blue pots in the perennial section, new and blue. So these are going to be new varieties, probably an early release, most likely coming out next year. But we have the yellow gold rush, which has got that beautiful deep yellow coloring to it. We also have this PW variety. This is Orange Blaze. And then look back here, Joker's Wild is going to be this kind of yellow to orange variety as well. Now, don't get me wrong, Nymphofia are pretty sizable in the garden. You're looking anywhere from, let's say, 18 inches, which are really the more compact or petite varieties, all the way up to like 36 inches. So just find the variety that you like, the color, the size, you'll be ready to go. We have a cute little fall combo for you in the perennial section. So you can use your Black-Eyed Susan. So this is Rudbeckia hirta. These varieties I've mentioned before are very nice, but you want to make sure that you're letting some of the seed heads develop, dry, and drop. And actually in September, this is a really good time if you're going to reseed some perennials, foxglove and things. It's really a good time to do it. They'll germinate very, very quickly. The other plant that we have here is this beautiful chelone or turtle head plant. We love the pinks. This one's Hot Lips, okay? Great plant for full sun, part sun, a little bit more shade, okay? They do very, very nicely in a multitude of spaces. Background here is going to be the switchgrass or panicum. This is Dallas Blues. It is a nice tall grass, usually with foliage and flowering full grown in the garden. It's usually around that 5 foot mark, almost 6 foot with the flowering. So that's a nice tall switchgrass. Again, native grass, so very nice for our landscapes. And then I was kind of hiding Sweet Autumn Clematis. Now, Sweet Autumn, if you've never grown this before, again, it's very, very fragrant. It is one of your latest blooming clematis, and boy, does it grow like gangbusters, okay? So you need to plant an earlier blooming vine with it, and then go ahead and plant your Sweet Autumn, and you will be very, very happy along trellises, over arbors, or what have you. But this is always a showstopper. And then look at, this is everybody's favorite. This is candy corn. So candy corn is looking beautiful and colorful right around the time it needs to be for fall. So that's a great one too. But that leads us up to a great companion plant. At the base of Rosa Sharon, you can plant spirea, and then go ahead and you have those Rosa Sharon growing up behind it. So really good combo there. Great for the pollinators, of course, because there's bees all over the spirea. And of course, the hummingbirds, the butterflies, and the bees love the Rosa Sharon as well. Lots of different varieties. The double varieties are typically chiffon varieties. So we have chiffon blue through here. Again, Rosa Sharon are very heat tolerant. They've done very nicely through the humidity. Maybe a little bit of spotting here and there, but have been growing wonderfully for us. So here's violet satin. Look at how beautiful. So beautiful red eye there on the violet satin. And then we'll move back here. I know I've shown you sugar tip before. Sugar tip is fantastic to me and Rosa Sharon because it's got variegated foliage. So you've got 3 seasons of something to look at despite the flowering. So I do enjoy sugar tip. It has that nice blush double pink flower on it. And then right through here, if you don't want Rosa Sharon that are so tall, you might want to go for a series called Little Kim. Little Kim has a red, it has a white, it has a violet, and these are very, very compact, right around like the 4-foot mark in the garden. So maybe if you're looking for shorter late season color, this would be a good one to go for. And then obviously we're getting towards the end of the Rosa Sharon, but I did want to tell you about the pillars. So there's purple pillar and white pillar. Obviously we're standing by white and there's just a couple flowers showing right here on white pillar. But what's neat about these is they're extremely narrow Rosa Sharon. So you can put them in these tight corners and spots. Sometimes we like plants right by the front of the garage or the corner of the garage, but we only have a little bit of soil space to work with. This is the plant for that. So you might like that. If you're looking for honeysuckle, they are finally back in stock. We really did not have very many this spring and summer season, but I do have honeysuckle here at Bainbridge. Most of the stores have them now, don't get me wrong, but fragrant honeysuckle. This yellow is called Sweet Tea, just blooming up and down the vine here. And then when it's finished blooming, it produces a bright red berry. They're green right now, but they'll ripen to a bright red berry. If you don't want that fruit and you want to clip them, that's fine. The birds do love them and will eat them. But oh my gosh, the fragrance coming from Sweet Tea smells so good. And these are non-invasive varieties of honeysuckle, so you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, this is kind of late season for them, but they do tend to bloom. These varieties tend to bloom kind of early summer and sort of periodically through the year. So again, keep deadheading those fruit so you keep on getting energy that goes towards the flower. I wanted to point out that the roses are still going strong. And again, the heat has made a huge difference in how the roses are performing. For the most part, they've done very, very well, especially your disease-resistant landscape types. So your oh-so-easies, your knockout roses. I wanted to show you this proven winner variety. This is At Last. This is not a new variety for us. I think it's about 3 or 4 years old now, but oh my gosh, it is in full bloom and you should see the bees on here. They are all over these flowers. Very nice, soft fragrance with At Last. Again, kind of a shrub rose habit with it. Nice buds, beautiful tight buds that open up and they have just that soft peachy, golden peachy blended color. So pretty, so gorgeous. And then across the way, I wanted you to see, this is a new crop of Summer Crush. Look at those flowers. Now, same thing. We have wet seasons. The hydrangeas are usually pretty happy. Again, key is always protecting them for the winter so that they come out in the spring with all, swollen buds ready to go. But Summer Crush, look at that. Just buds and full blooms. Deep, deep pink, really, really nice deep pink color, a little bit of bicolor on the newer blooms. So it has that limey green in the center and then the pink on the outside, but they're all beautifully uniform, nice and compact. Again, Summer Crush is going to be one of your smaller, petite macrophylla hydrangeas, but they just look gorgeous right now. So enjoy your September and we'll see you in October.